That thing was crazy. Like people were asking me about it at work today. Man, I don't know what's going on, but I guess I guess. Let me make sure that uh, I definitely mentioned that this will be spoilers.
Oh yeah, let them know.
Cause boy, I'm telling you like this, like some people don't care, but like some people
Some
do.
people do. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't be caring, but
Why
yeah,
you
some
didn't
people.
tell me it was a spoiler view?
Some
yeah,
people be wild.
yeah, 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 yeah. It definitely is one of those things. People really they get real picky about. Like I used to be, like before I started going to like either premieres or like going to like screenings and stuff like that. So like before that, I was like, hey man, y'all need to wait because I gotta wait to see the movie when it come out. But it's like when I started going to like screenings and like premieres and stuff, I was like, okay, well, listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm about to talk about it.
Right.
But yeah, man, yeah, definitely. What's up, bro? What's up? Definitely had like a
King Mo, what's
crazy
up?
a crazy a crazy feeling about this movie. Like I was I actually went to one of the screenings. I had to get like a ticket for this. I was like, I ain't never had to do that. But I had to get like a ticket for this screening, man. I was talking to like this one critic and we were kind of like jabbing back and forth and he was like, bro, I wish I would have stayed home. And I was like, kind of wishing I would have too. So I was like, I'm not even gonna hold you, but if you are watching this, this is a full spoiler review, full on spoilers. We're gonna be talking about spoilers. We're gonna be talking about plots, all kind of things. If you want to come back, if you want to watch this
What it
later,
do?
that's cool. But just so you know, you can come back if you need to. If you don't want to get spoiled, I understand. I wouldn't watch a spoiler review if I really wanted to go see something. If you're not gonna see it and you don't care, cool, stick around, have fun, enjoy yourself. But we're gonna be talking full spoilers throughout. So if you have not seen it, this is your time to get
Back
out.
out.
This is your time to go.
Bye.
Come back. Come back for the replay.
Right.
That's what it
That's
is.
right.
That's what it is. Come back for the replay. But anyway, so well, gentlemen, go ahead and introduce yourselves before we even get that. We go ahead and get that thing started. I don't know who
Go ahead.
want to go
I
first.
was late, man. Go ahead, Dre.
Well, what's up, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac from the Dre Mac Show. I'm the only one that didn't have it in the little listings, but I'm from the Dre Mac Show on YouTube. So make sure you come check me out. I didn't do a 6:30 in the morning podcast this morning because I was knocked out because I did one last night. But check me out in the morning. Go to do one on The Last of Us, episode six. So I didn't get to watch it yesterday because I was knocked. So
I got to
come back
catch
and
up
check
on
me
that.
out. Yeah, come back and check me out. So.
Okay, yeah. Nah, Blue from Blues House. I ain't do my blues news like I normally do today, but you know what I'm saying, because I'm off. It's a holiday today, you know what I'm saying. So I took it serious, you know what I'm talking about. But I'll be back tomorrow with the blues news, and I also do Blues House live on Wednesdays with the homie Mika and the homie Kobe. Um,
Shout out to Mika too.
yeah, shout out to
Absolutely,
Mika.
absolutely.
Big shout out to Mika everywhere, man. Mika
I,
everywhere.
Right.
trying to tell
Mika
you,
everywhere.
holding it down, man.
Yeah, I told her go get that work. I said get out there, man, get out there. But
That work.
right,
Get
right,
that
right.
you
work.
know,
Yeah. What's good,
salute
man?
to everybody, man. Check, like I said, the live show that I normally I go live for Blues News too. That's what I'm starting to do. But normally I go live Wednesdays 8:30. That's Blues House live. That's the whole house gang. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we actually are coming off vacation. So technically tomorrow was supposed to be our first
yeah,
day
yeah.
back. But
Mhm.
I was just like, man, it's so many different reviews about this movie going on, bro.
Right.
I just want to talk about it. What's good, man? I as a big comic head, as and it's so crazy because I'm actually a fan of like Ant-Man. I'm
Right.
actually a fan of Kang. So it's like it was like it wasn't me just going into it like not knowing what was going on. Like I actually knew like the characters and stuff, and I'm still kind of pissed off that Ant-Man didn't create Ultron, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, I was same thing.
And I was about to say it was before they introduced Scott Lang and Hank Pym. So I do wonder. I get it.
I'm not the biggest Scott Lang Ant-Man fan though.
No, me neither.
I like Hank Pym.
Right, and for me, because they use a lot of the Ultimate Universe. When Marvel, when this version of the MCU first started, a lot of the elements are from the Ultimate Marvel Universe. Sam Jackson, Nick Fury. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way the Captain's depicted is the same as basically. I mean, the three Iron Man, Hulk, and Cap. All are introduced almost in the same way in the Ultimate Universe as they was in the regular 616.
Right.
But a lot of other elements is mostly Ultimate. And then I think where a lot of people were pissed off at is because then they turned around and said, no, we're the 616. And it was like, well, if you was the 616, why you didn't do this? And you didn't even do that. What are you doing?
I'm going to tell you like this.
I understood them not having the characters. You know what I'm saying? They could only do it that way because they didn't. That's all they had.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. I get that.
Yeah. MCU Hulk is a little different than
a lot different. Let's be honest. But then they didn't want to give fuel to universe. Let's be honest, Marvel's smart. They're not gonna make Hulk that dope, and then since Universal owns the distribution rights, and Universal make all that money off of Hulk, i.e. what Sony is doing with Spider-Man. Just think about it. Yeah, because Spider-Man,
they let Spider-Man rock. They can let Hulk rock the same way.
Yeah, but Sony.
Man.
But the only difference is Sony was like, you know what? We're not really doing that great. You know what I'm saying? People didn't really like Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Sony was dead in a war.
Yeah, let's be real.
Come on, man.
As far as
with the Spider-Man franchise,
as far as the box office,
when they came out with the Andrew Garfield ones, they kind of dipped off.
What's the numbers?
The Spider-Man 2's numbers wasn't as great as Amazing Spider-Man. You see what I mean? And they were looking at a way for them to get back on top. Remember, the MCU is just now rising. So that's competition for Sony. And they were like, why would we go in competition and lose when we could be able to?
With y'all, man.
So we
Amazing Spider-Man did 758 million, man.
758 million compared to what they could have. Go back to the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's what I'm looking at. Amazing Spider-Man. That was Andrew Garfield.
That was the one, or was that one or two?
That was the first one. Now the second one, I know the second was a drop off.
That's what I'm talking about. The Amazing Spider-Man
709, but it still did 709 million. Remember, comic book movies weren't doing that $1 billion shit that we're seeing now.
They were getting there. Hold on, wait a minute, because it was getting there. Because remember,
the first one was it the Avengers?
No, the first one was the Avengers.
No. The first one was Dark Knight. I thought it was Dark Knight. It might have been Dark Knight.
I think it was Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
I don't know which one came first.
But remember, the Avengers changed. Remember, the Avengers changed the game. And everybody started to get in. This is why we having these MCU talks now, because everybody's like, "Oh snap!" They mix, they took all 4 of these movies, or basically 5. They took all 5 of these movies and made an Avengers movie. Oh, there's a tease for then. What are they doing now? Everybody's excited. While Amazing Spider-Man's in his own little pocket universe, you know what I mean? Doing what he doing. Then you go into the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and the plot was convoluted. They like, yo, we might have to pull back on this one a little bit.
It was a lot of things wrong with that movie.
But we might.
I feel like definitely a lot of things wrong with the movie.
Yeah. I have my gripes with that because the lightning definitely fixed Jamie Foxx's teeth. I was like, come on, what's going on, Kendra? What's up? But no, man. In all honesty, man, I don't know if it's superhero movie fatigue that I'm getting, because honestly, man,
it ain't fatigue.
I am like, I'm trying to figure out what has been wrong with like these last like superhero movies I've been watching. And it's like,
because I know y'all are very optimistic. I mean, very much anti against what I'm about to say. So I'm gonna let y'all rock out, and I'm gonna go back here, let y'all cook, and then I'm gonna come back and get my logic.
I mean, so this is my thing. So like phase 4, I just feel like everything in phase 4 just kind of it was just there. It was just, they just threw it together. They were like, okay, we just gonna rock out with the Marvel formula and we just gonna put this out here, whatever it is. Shang-Chi had promise and they kind of tailed off with it. Then you moved into what was after that?
After
Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
God.
No, was it? No, it was Multiverse of Madness first, right?
Oh yeah. Well, that was even worse.
Oh, you want the phase 4 schedule of how it went? And
I don't. That's the thing. You don't remember really how it went.
Well,
like it was a time
because I was on it.
Well, the first movie in phase 4 was Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first movie.
Oh, you
in
mean
phase
where
4.
they took Taskmaster and was like,
and yep.
That's
Okay,
not Taskmaster. That's not Taskmaster. I'm sorry.
Black Widow should have came out
Miko?
phase 2.
It should have. But what happened was they didn't realize how beneficial it could have been until Wonder Woman came out.
Yeah.
And then it was too late. You had already started to kill off. When Wonder Woman became beneficial, they was like, all right, we're gonna get that coin now.
Well, personally, I didn't think Black Widow was that bad until you got to the Taskmaster reveal. As far as young girls being abducted and the things that we're doing with the Russians, that was a real life event that actually happened in American history. There was a lot of good story in there. I think everybody gets.
But did you care though?
Right, it was because it was out of time. It was out of the timeline. That's what made the movie bad.
Well, it was out of time as far as like it should have came out right after, within phase 3. I agree with that. At the same time, if I'm a fan of that version of Natasha, you know what I'm saying, for the Scarlett Johansson Natasha. She didn't get her story really told. Kevin even admitted, we kind of missed our opportunities putting this out a little earlier, so we still want to give that Natasha story. It's still you still got the Elena Bolonovich story that's going to continue, but we still needed that story. I didn't have no problem with it. I had a problem with the Taskmaster reveal because I like Tony Masters, and that's not Tony Masters.
No, that ain't Tony.
That's Dreykov's daughter. So other than that, I personally, as a movie going experience, and remember, I watched that during the pandemic. I paid my extra money. You know what I mean? I got into the movie. I liked the movie.
It was a decent movie. I liked
the movie.
Yeah, I don't think it was a terrible movie. I think it was a decent movie, but the way that we was given the movie made it bad. If I was given this movie, and matter of fact, and I'm gonna tell you this, one thing I didn't like about the story was we should have got it should have been her and Clint. We should have got the story of them and
I do agree with you on that. We really didn't get that part, but again, I do kind of like they took Clint out of it just to focus on Natasha and why Natasha was a vital part of the of the Avengers. So when you go back and look at her emotions and the way she thought, her thought process during Endgame, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. I mean, not Endgame because she was gone. Through Infinity War.
No.
Yeah, it was Infinity War because she sacrificed herself.
No, it was Endgame. It was Endgame. She sacrificed herself. She just didn't make it to the end.
Endgame. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she didn't make it to the end. That's funny. But as far as that, now I kind of I have an understanding. Plus, it's kind of like, and we were just talking about comics before you came on, Blue. If let's be real, comics do that a lot. And the MCU does do a lot of stuff that comic book do. Well,
they kind of fixed it though. They kind of fixed it when they did the incursions. Right, the incursions was supposed to fix all that 616 versus the Ultimate.
Which we're getting
that was supposed to fix that.
Which we're getting to it though. But see, this is this is the thing, like what you were talking about. When comics do one shots are normally those one individual shots that give you a glimpse in the past or the glimpse in the future of this particular character,
like a motivation piece.
Yeah, and you get a little bit of the backstory that you didn't get through the whole total continuity of 80 writers, over across part of Marvel or DC. And they give you this particular thing, so you like, oh, okay, I get it, and that's the way I look at it. like, you know, I talked to my brother about this, and I know, Rashad, you said you listened to my my live yesterday. I give the MCU a lot of comic book logic instead of movie logic. Because if I was looking at this in movie logic, I would be right where y'all at. Like, this is dumb. This is stupid. Right. I don't get it. I hate it.
That's dope. That's dope that you do that. But you have to look at it with movie logic because it's a movie. This is a different medium than
it's the medium.
Because that's what they'll tell you. If you want to talk to Kevin Feige, he gonna say, "Oh, well, we adapted it from the books, but this is for movies."
But it's still
adapt some of it.
But it's still comic books, though. It's still, even though it's an adaptation of a comic book story, it's still comic books. So when you look at comic books, they initially made this for the comic book fans. So when you look at this phase
initially, now they don't even care about comic book fans.
But let's be real, phase 1 and phase 4 ain't that different.
I don't know.
Look. Phase 1.
I understand what he's saying because phase 4 was all about introductions. They gave us a lot of introductions. But the thing about it is, this is where it differs. Is phase 1 was brand new,
and right? we're going into a brand new stage in this. So these new characters, Miss Marvels.
Phase 4, you can't give me what you gave me with 1.
Well, you kind of can because you still have to introduce these characters. So
you can introduce them, but the movies need to be better
than what you did.
I would say
Shang-Chi was cool.
Shang-Chi
right?
was fun. Shang-Chi was
dope. I'm cool with Shang-Chi, but the way you introduced a lot of these other people, because they were so quick.
Give me an example. Give me an example. Are you talking about Disney Plus versions, or are you talking about the actual?
Yeah, because we got a lot of introductions through Disney Plus, not through the movie side.
Right. So okay.
I mean, we got America Chavez, and we got
she was introduced in Multiverse of Madness.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, who did we get on?
We got Miss Marvel. We got Moon Knight.
I like Miss Marvel. I did not like Moon Knight.
I love Moon Knight. I love Miss Marvel.
I thought that was atrocious.
Moon Knight?
Well, see, this is the thing. You're going to do Moon Knight, and you're not going to have Black Panther for him to go against.
Hold on. Moon Knight was bad.
Moon Knight was Moon Knight. I'm going to tell you about Moon Knight. First of all, Moon Knight was incredible because it gave you a character study of this, especially in the Josh Johns run of Moon Knight. Is this real or is this reality or is this what's going on? That duality, not knowing if he's really seeing this for himself or is this something that's played out in his mind. Number 2, it actually gave you an opportunity to bring back anybody from the afterlife because they pulled Moon Knight from the afterlife, from the duality.
Yeah.
The same thing Brother Voodoo did when he sent T'Challa down so he could be able to do the King of the Dead storyline.
That's the introduction they need to make.
So what I'm saying is you introduce these little droplets, and then you can always pull from that later on and be like, look, we did that in Moon Knight. If you want to know how this T'Challa came back, you gotta see this in Moon Knight. So I'm telling y'all, I think y'all sleeping.
But they did it with the multiverse though, and then didn't even use the multiverse. That was
this is the start of the multiverse.
It is a lazy way to tell stories.
It's the start of a multiverse, though. I wouldn't want
look how long they dragging it out. Why they dragging this multiverse shit out?
So we got 10 years of Thanos.
They running out of ideas.
No, we didn't.
No, it took 10 years.
You got 2 years. You got 2 years of Thanos.
We didn't get 10 years of Thanos.
To get to the end of the Infinity Saga, that was 10 years of work. We started off
10 years of Thanos.
But what I'm saying is,
trying to group that as being Infinity. But Iron Man 1 had nothing to do with Thanos.
But it did.
Iron Man 2. Neither did the first Captain America. Neither did Captain America Winter Soldier. Neither did Captain America Civil War. None of those had nothing to do with Thanos.
But what did Iron Man 2 introduce? The elements, right?
Okay.
Remember, you seen the shot of Wakanda.
The stone. But it had nothing to do with Thanos.
But the stones has everything to do with Thanos if you're doing the Infinity Gauntlet
storyline. And the ain't even the real stone. Like, the Cosmic was not a stone.
This is my question on that. So you bring it in. So your next movie is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
You
bringing in Adam Warlock
with no Thanos.
Yeah,
who is he going to go against?
Right, with no Thanos.
And I believe that was a misstep because if I'm not mistaken, they was going to introduce Adam Warlock a long time ago.
They did.
And then some. Yeah, but then something happened. I don't know if it was a James Gunn situation that happened that made him like, let's pull back against anything what James Gunn was doing with this character. Because remember the whole tweets and the whole thing, and they fired him, and they brought him back. They were going to. He should have.
They fired him again.
And then they. Well, no, he left. He got a promotion. He got a promotion. Yeah, but I think all of that.
Y'all want to
listen though, because he about to. I'm gonna tell you like this: if Marvel keeps on this path of what doing with these movies,
I foresee they done to me. If Flash take off the way I think it's gonna take off, they done.
I have mixed emotions about the Flash movie though.
Yeah,
so, I'm just saying, if Flash make that $1 billion that DC been looking for,
I don't think they will.
What's good, Nate?
I don't think they will, and everybody's talking about. This movie and stuff is still ignoring what Ezra Miller being a reverse Flash in real life. I'm not letting that go. I'm not letting that go.
That's the part that's like, I'm like,
and I get that.
I'm not letting that. I'm like, this dude was a whole straight up. This dude was a straight up menace. I'm not letting that go.
But Dre though, what the regular people don't even know what Ezra Miller done did out here in these streets.
That's crazy.
Regular people don't know. Now I said once the movie come out. And to get a little steam, you're gonna start hearing, "Oh, Ezra Miller did this, that, and the third." You'll start hearing it, but by that time, is it too late?
Grooming people.
Nope. Well,
that man was grooming people.
Yeah, he was.
Had kids with bullets in their mouth. Like, come on, man.
But if they're doing Flashpoint, he's gonna be gone anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone anyway. So that's what.
And let's be real. That's not the real Flashpoint. It's not gonna be the real Flashpoint.
You don't think
it's gonna be some kind of convoluted.
Oh no, it ain't gonna be that story. Yeah. Nah, it ain't gonna. No. But it's loosely based on Flashpoint. You know what I'm saying?
They're just gonna go back in time. That's what it is. It's gonna be It's gonna be an end game, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So remember they did Flashpoint, the animated series Flashpoint,
right?
Where they woke up, people didn't even know what was going on. It was just started all the way over. So you can still do it like they did in the animated series. So start all. It's not going to be nearly as good as that Flashpoint cartoon. That mug was amazing. So, but yeah,
that's most of DC stuff though. Yeah, that's most of DC stuff.
Yeah, you can kick it back off, but yeah,
that's most of DC stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we are about to dive into Quantumania. Like I said before at the beginning, if you have not seen Quantumania, and you do not want to be spoiled, just go ahead and come back, rewatch it later, whatever the case may be. Because we about to talk about it.
We about to get it in.
We about to get into it. Okay, before we start, let me go ahead and get y'all ratings on this. Because I can tell y'all mine. Let me go ahead and get y'all ratings on the movie.
Yeah, I already put it out there. It's 7 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I put mine out there too, but I did mine with 5. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
And I gave it a 4. That's basically what I did. I gave it a 4. I listen. It was hard for me to even give it a 4.
I dozed off on it.
Oh my god!
The first hour,
I dozed off on it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: Jonathan Majors. Somebody needs to check and see that man got a good chiropractor because he carried this movie.
He carried, yeah. Yes, he did.
I'm waiting. I'm letting this get out. I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Oh, but no, Jonathan Majors about to carry the whole MC. The way.
Here we go.
He's about to carry it
off.
That's
facts.
Here we go.
I hope my man is getting paid. Hey, if I got to play this character, I need double. If I got to play this, you know what I'm saying? Like he need to get paid overtime. Like overtime.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
That's big facts.
Let me check my glasses, make sure I watch the right movie.
Think about how they so going, and I know this is getting away from the movie, but going forward, they just gave this man a whole brand new character that he's gonna show up in Loki in, right?
The Victor Timely, which is part of it. Yeah, Victor Timely.
That's good.
Then he's gonna be a different Kang in another movie, possibly Fantastic Four. He might rum a touch Fantastic Four or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude is gonna be playing like 6 different versions. I need to get paid. This dude is gonna carry the MCU.
I think he got paid.
No, I know he getting paid. I'm just saying.
Listen. I'm telling you like this. So, okay. Jonathan Majors was the greatest thing and the worst thing about this movie, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Agreed. Yep.
He brought so much passion to this character, and they turned around and made it all goofy. Like nothing matched.
I hated the way they wrote it.
Wait, nah, I got to give you some pushback on this because anytime Jonathan was on screen, it was going down. He was real. He was menacing.
And then you turned around and it was a joke after that.
But no, not when he's on screen. Now I can understand if you're going into like when Darren Cross's version of MODOK comes out. And he's kind of it's MODOK. Wow, that's what I'm saying. Where are all these MODOK? Where are all these MODOK fans come from?
MODOK, man. Come on,
where did all these MODOK fans come out?
I thought it was a joke.
It's not about being a MODOK.
I thought it was a joke because the CGI on his face was bad.
It was because for real, MODOK is so obscure of a character.
He is.
Like, look what they did to his Hulu series. Like, if they were really taking this character seriously, he wouldn't look like that. Well, he would, but it wouldn't be as goofy as it was with Darren Cross.
If you read anything with MODOK, yeah, he's this big floating head or whatever, but he's to be taken serious.
It depends on who's writing because I would give you an example. There's the 90s version of MODOK that's completely just a joke. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the two. Now I can understand you have like I can't think of Dude's Run, but where MODOK is more menacing when he's under AIM, when he's going against Captain America. I want to say that's like the newer version of Kang, but there's versions of version of MODOK. But their version of MODOK is really stupid.
They do. Yeah, you're right. It's some writers that write them, you know what I'm saying, cartoonish or whatever. But in the essence of MODOK is to be taken serious. The essence of it. But I'm not talking about that writer that shows up and say, "Hey, let's make him goofy." I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about how MODOK was originally supposed to be.
Tiki Watiti.
But if we're in the essence of the multiverse, there can always be another MODOK. It could be the original version of MODOK. But again, this is where we're at right now. When the Ultimate Universe, when they did Secret Wars 2015, and they had the Ultimate Universe version of Spider-Man jumped over to the main version because in the Ultimate Universe you have Miles Morales, you had different versions of these characters. Sam Jackson, Nick Fury.
Issue with bringing back Black Panther.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It should be no issues.
It shouldn't have been an issue in the first place, but
it shouldn't have been an issue. But there's always if say for instance that they wanted to bring back MODOK and make him seriously. Make him serious.
So I get that.
In the
it's got to be a different character.
It got to be a different character.
I'm not going to believe Buddy like in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
And plus, they had to book in that version of Darren Cross from Antman because he went into. But look, he went into. But he went into the quantum realm after his.
They could have just brought Yellow Jacket back.
Yeah, and they could. But how silly was that though?
I'm glad you said the quantum realm. So I got a question on this. And this is where continuity comes in to be an issue.
Their continuity is trash.
Oh my God.
I thought that 5 minutes in the quantum realm was 5 years on the outside. I thought that if you spent too much time in the quantum realm, your brain was going to start going crazy.
Well, it depends on what part of the quantum realm that you're in. There's that outside. Remember when Jenna Van Damme?
Nobody.
If you watch it, but if you're watching the Ant-Man movies, they gave the coordinates. Jenna Van Damme gave the coordinates to Hank Pym through Scott Lang to be able to pick her up at one portion of outside of Chronopolis. That was that shielded bubble. You know what I'm saying? That was in there. So remember, they went into the quantum realm, got Jenna Van Damme out, and went back in no time progressed. There was also that floating the time vortexes because she said that. She said, make sure to avoid the time vortexes and something else, or you get sucked in right before they got dusted, right before at the on Antman 2, Antman and the Wasp. So she was telling them, hey, make sure to watch out for this because you get sucked into a time vortex. Make sure you watch out for this because of this. Because they use the quantum realm to go back and forth in time. And no time progressed because they use that to go back and forth in time.
But at the same time, they were just falling. They didn't have no direction that they were going or trying to avoid. They was just falling.
Remember at the beginning of the movie, you see Kane's ship going through one of the time vortexes and splitting into 4. You seen it in the movie at the beginning. Oh, my bad, y'all was asleep and not paying
Yeah,
attention.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
I ain't
I
gonna
y'all
lie
was
to
paying
you.
attention.
If I
Okay.
did miss that part, I'll give
So
it to you.
even with that, I'm yet again, who explained it to where you understand the okay time works and I understand
Janet
time diffusion and stuff like that. Like I get it, but who explained it in the movie?
Janet
Even
explained it
even
in the
even Hank
previous
Pym brought
movies.
up about the ants being down there. The ants was down there just as long as them, but he said the ants had been down there for damn what he said 1,000 years ago.
1,000 years, because if you look the way it was, like, if you look at the way that all of them got split, I believe they went into the time vortexes that they explained at the end of Antman and the Wasp. They went into those time vortexes, so the ants could have went into a time vortex that shot them 1,000 years into basically 1,000 years into the future. Basically, the way that they explained the how Scott was stuck in that portion of the quantum realm, in that time
So
vortex.
if the ants spent 1,000 years in that time vortex, they remembered Hank.
I mean, they did have the mechanical. They
They
did have the
remember Hank
mechanical.
though. Huh?
They had the mechanical machines on there, and they was
And
communicating
they
to
would
them.
communicate. So
They
okay,
were trying to reach out to them the
right. So
whole
let's stay
time.
there. Let's stay there. 1,000 years. If I'm trying to communicate and time is different, my communication.
But they did become. Remember, they were already smart because they had the little.
Yeah, I know they was
Ancestors.
already.
So
I'm just talking about Think about the communication. If I'm in
right.
1980 and I'm trying to communicate with somebody in 2020, it don't work.
It's gonna sound a little different.
I mean, Jack,
Especially
if you really want to communicate with me, though, young blood, you can understand what I'm talking about there. Jeep.
It don't work.
Now, I believe that they were smart enough to be able to communicate with Hank or keep that same technology, even though it was 1,000 years. They still was able to say, if you're 1,000 years in the future, you're smarter. You learn you know what I'm saying, for your past to be able to communicate with the past. You can communicate with the future, but you can also communicate with the past. So you kept that same information. You just now you have the way to be able to communicate with them. So that's what they were doing. Remember, Hank is walking around like, what the hell is this in my ear? Am I tripping? I done drunk the goo. So am I tripping right now? And even I'm watching the movie like, is he thinking now?
For the Popcorn in Your Beer review podcast for the next movie, I want y'all to check out. It's a movie called Time Trappers on Netflix, and it deals with this. They in this cave. The further they go into the cave, time works different. Mm-hmm. Dope movie. And if you really, this is how I think the quantum realm should have been explained and set up. So Time Trap, check that out. Y'all review that. But I'm still not rocking with how the quantum realm was explained. The QR was explained horribly. Mm-hmm. And how did
it wasn't explained? Not in the movie.
It was explained.
Where do people come from?
Remember, that was and I will agree with you on this, because they took not post credit scene, but they took a scene out of Ant-Man and the Wasp that it actually explains a lot more of what happened and that city that was outside there, because she was talking about time and all this other stuff, and you see the city in the background.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And because it looked like it was a dome over the city. So you see the city in the background. It just got cut out of that movie. So if you really didn't go back and watch, additional scenes and stuff like that,
you shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't have to. But Janet does explain a lot of that before she gets dusted. They just really what they did was cut that scene out. Did that scene at the end, telling Scott, hey, make sure you watch out for this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? And then they got dusted. Then you go into Endgame. Remember, Ant-Man, Scott Lang goes out and he starts telling the Avengers, hey, this is how time works differently, because I was at this portion of time and it was like 5 hours, even though it was 5 minutes. So that's when they started making the quantum machine. They reverse engineered that quantum machine that he used in the back of the van. You know what I'm saying? Remember, that was
Can we shit on Janet? Huh? Can we shit on Janet for a minute?
Don't you do Michelle Pfeiffer? Like, don't you?
Nah, let's shit on, because this is why I want to shit on her.
Don't you do that.
Janet, but before this movie came out, Janet was all gung-ho about explaining the quantum realm. She was 100% behind it.
There was a lot she ain't explaining in this movie, but yeah, go ahead.
Get to this movie, she totally did a 180 halt reverse. I ain't telling y'all shit about the quantum realm.
I ain't telling you about
To some
Kane.
quantum physicists. Like, how the fuck you not explain this shit to some quantum physicists?
She said, "Did you?" Was she? The question for one, the part that irritated me about this movie, even though I liked the movie, the part that irritated was Cassie Lang taking Hank Pym's 5-year notes and creating a beacon.
Creating.
Yeah, I got my own feelings about Cassie Lang. And if you see my review, I already said what I didn't like about Cassie Lang. But
another character that just could have been left out of the movie.
Yeah, but the beacon inside of the quantum realm, I think that's where she freaked out. Was like, okay, I'm out. I could explain to you this little bit about it. Even though we went through the whole in-game stuff, we already passed that. Why did you send a beacon back there? You know what I'm saying? And that's what triggered her. Like, oh shit, I forgot about Kane. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
but she didn't say anything.
She didn't say it. She didn't say
anything.
She kept it vague.
Actually came.
She kept it. Which I mean, I guess.
She didn't say it's people down there. She didn't say it's animals, water, you can breathe. She didn't explain none of that shit.
Star Wars movie.
She was trying.
This was Star Wars.
She did kept it like. I don't think she. To me, the way that she freaked out, it's like, I'm cool. All I wanted to do was come back home. I don't want to think about going back to the projects. I'm cool where I'm at right now. And the projects came back up. She's like, oh snap! Now I gotta face this. Now I didn't want to talk about this no more.
She was ready to talk about it. That's what I'm saying.
But she was ready to get that quantum energy so she could be able to save Ghost. And that's why I have a problem with the Cassie Lang and all of that, because Bill Foster spent how many years trying to develop this quantum information and trying to get this quantum tech to be able to save the Ghost. And she did that in 5 years. That's bullcrap.
I know you like the movie.
No, that part pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. But I liked it. Oh yeah,
she said it wasn't because of Jonathan. She said she just liked the movie.
I did like the movie. But then I do understand where you guys coming from as far as that. But I believe other movies explained it.
So it's continuity issues. It's the whole thing of why she didn't explain, because that didn't happen. Like, you got humanoid characters and you don't explain how they got there.
Does it even matter, honestly? Because they're spending that time in the quantum realm to do what they got to do and get the hell back up out of there because of
they
who's
didn't.
in
They spent the entire movie. So okay. So Avatar, last Avatar movie,
Way of Water. I still haven't seen that.
Okay, so I have my own gripes about that movie, but visually beautiful. You felt immersed in the movie. This just felt like I was just watching it. It just felt like it was on screen. I was like, oh, okay. Like,
it didn't pull me in like I thought it was gonna pull me in.
I've seen that before. Like, I thought I was gonna see. I was like, okay, you're gonna go into the quantum realm. You got all these different, like, ways that you can make this a beautiful looking movie, and it just kind of felt dry. It felt like
everybody looked like it was off of Dune or something. Like, why everybody had to be,
it was Star Wars. It was
Star Wars, Dune. Why everybody got to dress like that?
Well, see, the reason why I personally like it is because it reminds me a lot of the older Jack Kirby drawings. You know what I mean? Where things was really weird. I know it's the 60s.
No, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
That's what I loved about the way that Wakanda looked. Like, when I had like my first Black Panther issue, like, I liked that Wakanda looked like a place you've never seen before.
Right.
Now it just looks like Africa. But anyway, that's all this subject.
That's when I went into it. You said
and we got more quantum realm than we got Wakanda too.
We did.
I ain't go. We gonna leave that part. I'm gonna throw that over there for just a second. The reason why I kind of like that, because personally, the way that, especially with me and my comic fandom, I'm a big Deadpool fan. It's my favorite comic book character of all time. I also like the older Jack Kirby drawings because it was just so weird and it's kind of wacky and just weird. So when I'm in this world, and one reason why I like Star Wars over Star Trek, because I'm seeing these weird worlds and these weird characters in the Cap Jeep or Jet or whatever his name is. That's weird. I like that type of stuff. I think that's when I start actually having. I start having more fun with the movie because I'm looking at all this weird stuff and I'm like, dude, this is where I can chill here. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
And I guess
I
guess that's what my problem was, because an Ant-Man movie is supposed to be weird and fun and stuff. Not with Kang.
No.
I guess that's what threw me off.
Yeah,
you got Kang, the motherfucking Conqueror, supposed to be your big bad guy, and
what's good, Will?
let me. I'm gonna give you some drawback a little bit on this one because I said this on my man Chillmonger. Shout out to Chillmonger and all those guys because I was on their podcast on Sunday. I said, look at it like this. I said we first got introduced with Darth Vader, right? Darth Vader in Star Wars for Episode 4, gangster. You know what I'm saying? Did or did not he get defeated at the end of the movie? Well, the Death Star got blown up. You know what I'm saying? Technically, he was defeated until Empire Strikes Back. And Empire Strikes Back is one. If it wasn't for Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite.
He didn't get defeated by no damn ants.
Hold on, wait a minute. Ant-Man doing Ant-Man things? Come on now. Get my man. Come on now.
But it's Kang, bro.
But it's Kang the intro.
I heard somebody say Kang basically tripped, fell over, and damn near broke his ankle. That's how he lost.
I mean, he got
rushed
by but you know how strong ants are, and like, you know,
cool. You know what? So that lets me know that Kang.
But he got pushed over, and that Kang was depowered. All Kang had was the regular tech that he had all the time. That's what he was trying to build. Trying to get to all that time travel thing. Like if you remember on Loki, He Who Remains had that time travel device. So even when Sylvie was trying to stab him, he was just going back and forth out of time. Like, I don't care what you do, you're not gonna touch me. Kang the Conqueror didn't have that tech yet. He was trying to rebuild all of his tech because he got shot down by his other variants into the quantum realm. See, they knew he didn't have the tech.
That's not what was explained.
But I mean, if you're watching the movie, you connected the dots. That's why you gotta watch. That's why you gotta watch all of it.
If I don't know Kang from nothing, all I know is that they shot him down and dismantled his mode of transportation.
So I'm gonna give you an example. That's why I said comic book logic over movie logic. If I gave you this one comic and you see Killmonger here, you're gonna wonder where the hell the dinosaur come from. But if you're not reading, Black Panther number 6 through X, then you kind of miss the part. And that's what I'm talking about with comic book logic when I'm looking at these movies, because you do have to watch the other stuff to be able to be like fully immersed and be like, that's why.
I didn't have to watch nothing on the introduction though.
But he was introduced. Technically, he was introduced.
You didn't have to know about Thanos to know that
Thanos was that dude.
Nah, you did, because the first time you see Thanos was at the end of the
Avengers. The face.
They half of the common people had no idea who it was.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know who that purple dude was. The common movie
the regular.
Yeah, the regular moviegoer had no idea who this dude is.
Yeah,
this is what comic book movies are supposed to do. They're supposed to get you immersed into the actual stories and the characters, so you can go back and buy these comics or buy this merch, or go ahead and start watching or reading it digitally. So you get familiar with the characters from the comics. So when you go and watch, when you go and you're watching these movies, like, oh, I remember reading Infinity Gauntlet. I remember reading Infinity War. I can see why they changed them up a little bit, because Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is a simp. But then this one from the Infinity War in the movies, he's trying to bring balance to the universe. I get it. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I had a problem with that. Nah.
I know you didn't just say Thanos from the comics.
You talking about Thanos that dismantled his granddaughter?
Thanos in Infinity Gauntlet was trying to get the Eye of Lady Death, and the only way she perked up and when it's like, baby, I kill half of this universe over you, girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
simp.
I ride with you on that.
But menacing wise. So I have an issue with Infinity War Thanos, because Endgame Thanos, when he came back, he was like
sitting on the rock.
I'm about to destroy this whole thing. Bruh, I don't care about none of this.
That
Big
one
dog.
little line he said where he was like, everything you've done has led right back up to me, and he was just throwing a
It
rock
was
in his hand.
gangster.
I was like, oh,
It was
Thanos about to
gangster.
wreck shop.
It was that's what I'm saying.
But that's the Thanos that I know.
But give Kang some
I'm
time.
trying to give him time.
He's a time traveler. Give him. And really, just think about Kang the Conqueror. The original Nathaniel Richards in the comics was bored and created time travel. And then in his pursuit of boredom, he started being, man, I could go conquer lands. He so became Ramatut. He became a Mortis. He became Kang the
So
Conqueror.
do you think that's gonna be a problem though?
What, him being bored?
Because he's related to Reed Richards. A lot of
Hey
people
man, according to the birth dirt, everybody gonna be Pat Mahomes by 2050. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna just. You know what I mean? It's already in motion.
I don't necessarily believe that, but I get it. I don't believe that though.
Hey, I did do a study on this when I was doing my old podcast, and right now, technically, whites under 18 years of age are the minority in America.
They are.
So what I'm saying is, and they're the minority around the world. So what I'm saying is, by 2050, all I'm saying is, this is going to be a little change. That's all I'm saying. Just a little change.
So
okay, but though, so you think that Kang can beat the Avengers?
I believe, honestly, there's something in the movie that gave me that I literally started tripping out when I got home. And I thought about it. Remember when Scott Lang was in the inside of the time travel energy, and he started doing the probability of the probability, and he started branching out. It's a different version of himself. Now this is Kang. Already there's a Council of Kangs. He was actually a part of the Council of Kangs. He's the statue that they broke when you go into the Citadel at the end of time. So he was that, you know what I mean? He who remains, Kang, you know what I'm saying, Immortus, all of them. So what I'm thinking is he's gonna figure out a way, all those Kangs are gonna figure out a way to be able to get out of that and use that energy to be able to time travel. Because he created the machine, he's going to figure out a way inside of there to get out and start using time travel to go back and start haunting everything that's going on right here. So that Kang is the one they're really scared of. Immortus said it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was the Scarlet Centurion or if that was or Beyonder. Somebody said it could be a Beyonder version of Kang. Which,
that's disgusting, by the way.
Which I agree with you. I agree. So I'm calling them the Scarlet Centurion until under further notice. And Ramatut. They were like, "Are you sure he's dead?"
That was horrible CGI too.
It was.
What on who? On who?
Ramatut. That was bad. That costume was horrible. All that CGI was bad in that last.
I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. The CGI in the whole movie was bad to me.
I personally did think so, but. Yeah, maybe I need to change my glasses. Maybe I need to.
I went and watched the end credits again. It's bad, man.
I don't think it's bad. You watched the bootleg?
No, they just had the, they
released the end credits.
Oh,
so this was my issue. So Kang doesn't come into like an hour and some change into the movie.
Yeah.
So before that, it's just an Antman movie. Like when the movie,
it's 45 minutes. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's like 40 to 45 minutes.
It's deep into the movie. So I literally was about to get ready to just tap out until he came on.
So obviously you're not a Paul Rudd fan.
I don't need my superheroes to be funny.
But he's been like that though. He's not like he's not being himself.
Right.
I don't care for Scott Lang is
So you were already, because me and my brother talked about that I don't think a lot of people, the original Antman and the Wasp was the creators
Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne.
Janet Van Dyne, they're original, Avengers. And I believe you, Rashad, and a lot of people never got on to Scott Lang because he wasn't the Hank Pym version of this, and we didn't get to see Hank Pym being that destructive woman-beating monster that he was from the comic. Let's be real. No, I'm dead serious.
And that's the reason why they said they didn't put him front and center though.
Right, because I believe they're using, I'm not saying he's from the Ultimate universe, but an alternate version of Ant-Man. I don't think a lot of people grasp on to that. You know what I'm saying? This alternate version of it.
I mean, I've had an issue with the Avengers, like just continuity wise for a while, because Hulk isn't supposed to be an Avenger.
Nah, he was
was
only
a-
in that one issue.
Spider-Man was never.
He was
an
he
Avenger.
was
One
he
issue.
was no in the original Avengers number was it Avengers number one?
One.
It
Yes,
was
that
Hulk.
was it.
Is Hulk Thor? Is Hulk Thor? Hulk Thor, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Wasp.
And Wasp,
Mhm.
yeah. And Hulk
Yeah.
left. Issue 2, he wasn't on there.
Yeah, it was gone. So
Yeah.
which I mean, did he not do well? I mean, he was in Avengers 2, and then he was gone after that. He was going to Sakura after Age of
Oh,
Ultron.
listen,
came
I'm gonna tell you like this:
after,
the
New
fact that he did not come back, Royal Breaker Hulk, is still
Yeah,
bothersome to me.
that was disgusting too.
But and again, that's because they can't really make that movie the way that they want to.
No.
That has to be a solo movie.
You could
Actually, that was a who plays the actor? Who's that dude who played the Hulk?
Mark
Mark
Ruffalo.
Ruffalo. He
said-
said that he did not want to be a menacing Hulk because he wanted to talk and he wanted to act and do all that type of shit. That's why you getting. And also, the Russo brothers said that they didn't know how to portray a savage Hulk the way that they thought that they wanted. So they made him, but they only wanted to do it just for that movie until they figured things out. But Mark Ruffalo was like, "This is the best thing going. Let's make him smart. I get to
It's
talk."
not.
I get to do all
It's not.
But then
It's
then he flipped it because now that the Fox acquisition is already went through, he was like, now I want to do, you know what I'm saying, World War Hulk or War Breaker Hulk. So because we're now bringing in Wolverine, and Wolverine's about to be introduced in the Deadpool movie. And he wants to work with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine to be able to do that story. That's why
But you can't do World Breaker Hulk anymore. You don't have Iron Man.
What's the motivation?
You don't have Iron Man.
You technically can, because you can bring up if you want, because we're in the multiverse. You can do a Iron Man from an alternate universe.
The laziness.
Yeah, it is. It's a nothing. But
are you gonna bring back Black Bolt? Nobody cares about.
That Black Bolt was from the 838, man.
It don't matter where he came from. Black Bolt is trash.
Yeah, Black Bolt is. But he wrecks. All he does is just wreck shop through everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Except for Scarlet Witch,
except for Scarlet Witch and the Sentry. Remember, him and the War Breaker Hulk and the Sentry went to a standstill.
They did.
And the Sentry was deep. He wasn't as strong as he was.
Don't forget Dr. Strange too.
Yeah, Dr. Strange.
He invoked the demon with the spike hand.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So I mean, since they even though I didn't like She-Hulk, that's probably the worst thing I watched through Phase 4 was She-Hulk. You know what I mean? Bad. But they did bring his son Scar in. If something was to happen, this is what I'm saying. All I'm saying, it was something just to happen to Scar. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go ahead and take him out, and Hulk all of a sudden just snaps, because in the World Breaker Hulk or in World War Hulk,
but that was his wife.
His wife. Just think about his kid. He just found out.
Both died, didn't they?
But, no, Scar didn't die. His wife died.
She was pregnant, wasn't?
But no, Scar didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Scar didn't die.
She was pregnant with twins, actually.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, since people were in the business let Ryan Coogler write it. He in the business of killing people.
No,
you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying, since he in the business of killing people, killing people. Let him write. Let him write.
At this point,
he don't mind killing nobody.
Can we get somebody else to write Black Panther?
Yes,
the third one, the next one, please. Because I'm sorry, I'm
get
good.
Nate Moore away, get Ryan Coogler away, get them far.
I'm good, dog. I don't need it.
But I'm just saying,
I'd rather have the Russo brothers write them, because they wrote a better T'Challa than they did.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah. But if something was to happen to him, where say for instance he does die in that, by the hands on accident, not on accident or whatever, of the heroes, and he snaps, because we haven't seen him snap. You know what I'm saying? Because you introduce Scar, you know what I mean? Have him die, because unless you're gonna put him as a young Avenger, it doesn't really matter.
You're gonna have to,
you don't really need him, because you need Hulkling.
I'm gonna need Hulk and Scar to build some kind of. Right now, they ain't got no relationship. So if the boy die, if he go all out crazy,
build a relationship. Like do the movie. do the movie, build a relationship, just like how we did when they built a relationship with T'Challa and his daddy, have him die, and then have him snap.
That wasn't no relationship. That man didn't even have a funeral.
I know.
No.
Right. Don't let me get into that. Let me get into that, man. I'm starting to get irritated thinking about that. God, I'm starting to get irritated.
They didn't get that man a funeral or nothing.
He did nothing.
God,
hold on, wait a minute. And then during the whole 5-year snap, that's why I keep telling people, if they would have did Black Panther Wakanda Forever during the snap, it would have made a lot of sense for them to do a funeral. What they do, 2 funerals?
Three funerals in 5 years? T'Challa
this man died 4 times in the comic.
Yeah.
In the movie.
I'm not showing up to this funeral. I know he's gonna be back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm people, why am I showing up to this funeral? This man done came back every time we done mourn this man.
I'm just saying.
Be back. You not going to the funeral? Nah, he'll be back.
Yeah. Okay, going back to Kane, like I that had me thinking about something also, because it's funny on the end credit scene how much they were scared of Kane the Conqueror. They were literally terrified.
No, I agree with you on that.
I'm all of them. You know what I'm saying? They were really, but again,
if Antman could box him up,
Ant-Man got stomped. Ant-Man got stomped. If it wasn't for Janet Van Dyne shooting the things into him, because remember, Kang is really
how did she come back though?
But Kang is really just a regular dude anyway. He's really a regular dude with a.
But see, that was my issue. So my issue.
He's always been like that.
He is a regular dude, but what makes Kang so formidable is I'm from the 31st century.
So again, he didn't
technology. I understand how to, and I mean, they kind of showed him being. They didn't show his genius intellect to me, because not only is he smart, but the dude is a conqueror. That means
they didn't do it for T'Challa either.
All this other stuff, you're not finna get the best of me on the battlefield.
But the second part, the only pushback I would have on that is because they did show you his intellect with Janet, and they had that montage of them working on the chip because he fixed it. And guess
what though? He must not be that smart, because Cassie built that shit in 5 years.
Man, that was some bull. Come on now, that machine he built within that time period. But Cassie, the beacon, whatever that was, it was dumb. But Hank was working. I don't know. I don't even want to get to that because that irritates
that was soul. Irritating because I'm like, hold on. This little girl built not only a beacon, but then she ended up building. It was a portal now. Now you can open up a portal, go right pinpoint, pull somebody out. You mean to tell me Kane and all the technology and however long he was down there couldn't come up with that?
Do you think
from the 31st century?
But what's in the quantum realm as far as like the tech that they had is nowhere close to outside world. I mean, you
don't get to explain that,
right?
Because they were able to fix it there, no issue.
You talking about the that machine when they
he was able to fix his time machine. Back? Yeah.
Because the time, I wish I had the notes of what that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up and find the notes of what that time machine, the MacGuffin of the movie is. And
it was like the time matrix or something like that.
It was something that had to do with using the energy to be able to the same orange energy that we seen in Loki when they were going back and forth into different time periods.
Right.
That was the same energy that it was powering up. So that's why I believe him getting sucked into the middle of that, he's going to be smart enough to be able to use that energy. What if he gets ambiguous with the energy of that? So now I don't even need a device. You know what I'm saying? I don't even need a device.
So now they're gonna make Kane cosmic Kane.
I mean, I'm just saying. But you do it. I mean, you killing off King Ramonda. You can do whatever you want to. You can do what you want.
This is why I'm just saying,
or whatever. I'm just throwing something out there.
Dre, this is why people are kind of giving up on Marvel, because, and I remember when they first started introducing the multiverse, I was talking about it on my podcast, and I was saying it's going to start getting lazy. I said that. From the top, from when WandaVision dropped to now, I said, man, it's gonna get real. Once it was WandaVision, What If, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All I saw was laziness out of that, because everything was
more lazy. When you say laziness, explain for a person who's listening.
Black Captain America.
For me,
Well,
but that's from the
because
comics
look
though.
at-
Hold on, wait a minute.
It was a trash
hold on.
run. It was a trash
That
run.
was a
But
trash
I'm gonna
run.
push.
But they kept-
back. I'm gonna push back on that because we you know in the comics, not only did Steve Rogers have it, Bucky had it,
Right.
John Walker
long?
had it,
Mhm.
For how
and
long?
so,
For
but
how
they
long?
still had it.
How
They
long
still-
before they gave it back to Steve?
I mean, but they still had it though.
I'm
They
just
still
saying.
had it. That's all I'm saying. They
But
still
they
had
had,
it.
but and another thing too, nobody liked when Bucky had it. Nobody liked when Sam.
Well,
had it.
they didn't like
In
when
the comics.
it depends. Well, it depends on the run because that 2000s run, people really did when the Winter Soldier, you know, when basically when that was actually the 80s. The Nomad character when he was Nomad for a while and he wanted to be Captain America. That's when Bucky had it. And then, but no, Bucky had it, and then he didn't want to be.
Not when
no. John Walker ended up becoming it. He becomes. That's when they introduced John Walker because remember Battlestar.
But he only had it for a couple issues, and then he was agent.
John Walker.
Yep, because Val Val showed up and said, "Nope, you should be U.S. agent. You shouldn't be Captain America. Nobody likes you, Captain America."
We talking about in the comics.
In the comics, yes.
That comic.
Nope.
That comic one from '87.
Yes, Val showed up.
Hold on, I'm about to.
See, Val dated Fury back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Val was a big part of Secret Invasion going forward. Matter of fact, I think she was the first person to die in Secret Invasion. If I remember correctly.
Are they gonna do the whole scroll? Because are the scrolls still around?
That's Secret Invasion.
I get it. But I'm just saying they haven't because the way that the scrolls infiltrated everything is just I don't know, man. But this is my thing. So you took a character that was original in Falcon and turned him into Black Captain America that nobody cared for in the first place. It's kind of the same thing what you did with Carol Danvers is
Captain Marvel.
I
like Captain Marvel. I like Captain Marvel.
I like Monica Rambeau's version of Captain Marvel.
But we hadn't had Marvel. Now, this is the pushback I give on that. We hadn't had her as Captain Marvel since what, the 80s?
But you know why they took it though, because they gave it to Gina's Vale. They gave it to his son.
Right. But I'm just saying we hadn't had her. Matter of fact, she hadn't even been a prompt. So if I'm coming out with a movie, I probably wouldn't put her as Captain Marvel. I would introduce her, but I wouldn't have her as Captain Marvel.
She got done dirty because every time she was something, they came and took it. She was Captain Marvel, they gave it to Gina's Vale. Then she was Spectrum, they gave it to Gina's Vale. What was it? Who became Spectrum after her?
No, she stayed Spectrum.
She stayed Spectrum
Pulsar or something like that.
But she was Spectrum for a little bit, for a minute, and then she went by Photon. But her power started to grow. She became pure energy. You know what I'm saying? So the name change kind of fit. Well, how much she started to grow as far as
it was because they gave the name to somebody else.
But it still doesn't. I mean, does it really matter though? Because
she's still Monica's still around. Female Captain. It was a Captain Marvel before her.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Right. But
Marvel.
Female Captain Marvel.
Right.
Marvel.
Yeah. In Spider-Man Annual number 16.
But the only reason they gave it to Carol Danvers is because they needed to keep the name.
Well, she was Miss Marvel. Yeah, because that name will. Because that name will revert back to DC for Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's it is just like any intellectual property. You want to continue to keep the name going.
So this was the thing. When she became Captain Marvel, it was so trash. They tried to sexualize her like nobody's business because the comics weren't selling.
Who you talking about?
When they made Carol Danvers.
She was at first when she was
Miss Marvel. Yeah.
She was hot. She was hot as fish grease as Miss Marvel.
Right. And she was truth be told, her comic wasn't selling. And she was not very popular because in the House of M comic book storyline at the beginning in the House of M, they made her popular. They made her popular in that comic. Yeah,
when Ares showed up, the World War Hope run, all of those things like that. She was everywhere. Mm-hmm. She was hot. When they gave I remember when they gave her the whole new suit, you know what I'm saying, and the mohawk and all that like that. A lot of people did not like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people
because the only thing that was selling about it was a sex symbol thing.
Right. A lot of people didn't like that.
But that's comic books anyway.
If you write it good though.
Right.
I ain't saying she got to be Black Cat.
She-Hulk, but it was written good. It was written good.
I don't think she was. She just wasn't
Psylocke?
popular. She
Psylocke
just
is
wasn't
always
popular.
sexualized. And she
Yeah.
ain't nothing but a walking
What's the
sex
chick?
doll, you know what I'm saying?
What's the chick in DC with the big boobs?
Basically Supergirl from another
Yeah.
What's her name?
What's it? Wonder? No, it ain't Wonder Girl. I forgot her name. All she is walking, talking tits.
Yeah.
They're super strong, but it's the first thing you see.
Power Girl.
Power Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean?
Girl. Yeah.
So it's always been like that. You know what I mean? So again,
but everybody keep talking about the so like because her movie did a bill, but it did a bill because it was stuck in between
But
Infinity
that's how you
War and Endgame. It
I'm
wasn't
putting
because
that
it was a
between
good movie.
It was a good movie, man.
It was a decent movie.
I really like that Captain Marvel movie.
She has no personality. I'm sorry.
I think it was
I
supposed to.
I think they wrote her to be robotic, like
on purpose.
On purpose.
Hopefully,
with
worked.
this movie we get a little bit more person because Brie Larson is not a bad actress whatsoever.
She's not. She's not at all.
She's not a bad actress.
What the only thing that's wrong with Captain Marvel, the movie, is it's sequenced out of place. So if they would have had it where, you know, the flashbacks when she was doing karaoke and all of that, if we seen that at the beginning, then she gets captured by the, you know, she goes through the thing, the whole mission with Marvel and all of that. She gets captured. Then she goes back, you know what I'm saying, reintroduce herself to her friend. It would have flowed a lot better. But since they did all the, you know what I'm saying, this robotic version of her because she was under the under Kree, you know, control under that. Then they showed her backstory.
Instead of
I don't like Monica Rambeau looking up to Carol Danvers. She didn't even know her. It's just I'm sorry.
It's because she's white, sir.
I agree with you on that. I hear you on that.
Is that what it is, sir? Hey, look, I looked up to David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight. I ain't gonna sit for this white blasphemy like this.
It's not that. It's you took a better character and she's looking up to Carol Danvers.
Tell me what makes
you see
Monica Rambeau a better character than and I'm not saying that she's not, I'm just saying because I kind of see them on equal playing field.
I like the way her powers are better. Like, if you look, Monica's I have the
Carol.
Monica's. So I have I have the first introduction of her when she was in Spider-Man. The Who's That Lady?
16.
Yeah. So just the way that the character, Spider-Man. By the way,
Spider-Man is creepy as man. I'm reading this.
Spider-Man gonna be creepy.
Dude, oh my God,
he was that fineness. You think he ain't gonna be creepy?
Spider-Man had a sweet tooth. Spider-Man had a sweet tooth.
He was looking for some chocolate.
He got a sweet tooth.
And they made her like Pam Grier. Oh, I kind of feel him on that though.
You think he ain't gonna be? Come on, man.
And I guess that's what it was. Like I love the way that character looked. Like, and it was just like I can go back in. She's dope, but she's Pam Grier with powers.
Right. Yeah, she was. That's what they based off of.
So it was just like
what was the movie Pam Grier did where she was the
Coffee?
Cop?
No,
not Coffee. It was one on when she was a cop. I can't remember what it was, but that's basically what it was because Monica Rambeau was the cop.
Yeah. Yep. She was a cop in there.
She was a cop.
Yep.
Yeah. In Spider-Man.
Louisiana Border Patrol, not Border Patrol, but River Patrol or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, but she stayed Captain Marvel for at least for a lot of the Avenger.
She was the leader of the Avengers.
Yeah, at one point, she was the leader.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like going from that to she looks up the. I was like, that's a stretch.
I mean, she was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? She was a little kid at that.
They don't know each other.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I get what you're saying, but
I get what you're saying.
Auntie Carol. So in this
reimagine, you know what I'm saying, version of it, how would have made it different?
I would have made it so they didn't know each other.
I guess he's saying how would you introduce Monica Rambeau? Because I'm pretty sure they already had it to where Marvel.
They had both
Monica
characters.
Rambeau, Captain Marvel. You know what I'm saying? They were putting all the pieces together. So
They
they were
have
trying
both
to say
characters.
that this part of MCU is going to be strictly for Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, they not even close.
No.
Who she got her name from? They not even close.
Well, she looked up to Captain Marvel or whatever.
Yep, but she only showed up one time. Who in that first series? Who did she go on a superhero adventure with? Wolverine. That's who she learned superheroing from.
Yeah.
So is it out of the stretch of imagination?
I just
It's just them trying to, but that's just them trying to put pieces together, and that's why I say going forward, it's a lot of laziness because when they do paint themselves into a corner that they can't get out of, they say, multiverse.
Isn't that how comics been forever?
Lately, not forever.
But that's why comics have become a problem.
Right,
because the new 52,
I
the new
say
52,
DC did the same thing, but look how quickly they got rid of the new 52.
That's what Marvel tried to do. That's what Marvel tried to do to the Ultimates.
Right, what they did. They were in the Ultimate Universe. Remember, you got Secret Wars 2015.
The incursions.
The incursions. They exited that. But before the Ultimate Universe, you had the 2099 universe. They showed different versions of these characters in a different future.
But
that was a little bit different.
To me, when they did like 2099 and they did the Ultimate Universe, they still had 616 going.
Yeah, they said you still had a baseline.
The new 52.
Well,
yeah.
They did something different. Even with remember all different Marvel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? After the incursion did all different Marvel, then you went to the legacy line because right now technically we in legacy. All the comics older comics that I got, like this Thor Legacy number 756, it's the continuation of all these comics from this period of time. So we're in the legacy storyline. So they could be able to tell reimagined stories, but it's all supposed to be one continuity.
It's good writing though. That's the thing. Like the issue that movies are having are the same things that are the same issues that comics are having. The writing is just terrible.
That's the creators, man. The creators.
So I would agree with you a little bit because I'm watching a video yesterday and they were talking about there's a lot more. The writer of Antman and the Wasp and the Quantum Realm was a writer for Rick and Morty.
Right.
And since Rick and Morty, all Rick and Morty shows that deals with is weird time travel. All that you got the Council of Ricks. I'm a fan of Rick and Morty. Maybe because that's the reason why I liked it. Because because I probably understand that the dialogue that they were using in there.
Did you get Rick and Morty from that?
When we went to the Quantum Realm, it became real Rick and Morty real quick. With the Bill Murray character, it went real Rick and Morty.
That's another character I didn't like.
Because he's from the comics and he was literally one panel dead, and that was a good way for Bill Murray to be in the MCU.
Micronauts, right? Microverse?
Yeah, when Hulk went into the microverse, you know what I'm saying? Into the microverse, with the Micronauts, he met that guy or whatever. Dude
just
got
like,
killed.
Jentora, right? She was from the Micronauts.
Yeah. So, and I ain't gonna lie, I kind of liked her.
I did. She was old generic.
I like that.
Generic freedom fighter. They went and got her from
she could fight
Mad Max.
Yeah,
but again, just think. This is why I said I liked it because you have that character. You got this weird eyeball-looking broccoli dude. You got all these weird just characters in interacting in this world.
So
and
she got a lot of people killed. I'm just gonna say
she did. But I'm thinking to myself this is. I would like to spend more time. I'm the only one that wanted to spend more time in there.
It was Thor Ragnarok.
I love them. Thor Ragnarok is one of my favorite MCU movies of all time.
I didn't mind Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was dope. And another pay homage to Jack Kirby also.
Ragnarok was focused and centered. We didn't have to worry about everything that was going on the planet, right? Quantum Realm, everything was amok going on. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? They didn't explain the broccoli-headed dude. They didn't explain the robot flashlight man. They didn't explain They didn't explain nothing. This was just a group of refugees put together gladiator style. Like, why are you here? Like what? Why did you end up in a corner? You know what I'm saying? Like if they could have did one of them campfire sit down kumbaya scenes and just everybody just you know what I'm saying, kind of just give their own take of how I got. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta rewatch the movie because I honestly think they did. It just got brushed off because I think they were talking. I gotta
remember
see it.
Gentora. Once Gentora met up with Cassie and
because Cassie got there first.
Right, Cassie got there
first.
Once they did all of that, they did the cut to Janet and all them. They end up finding Bill Murray. Mm-hmm. Then we go back, right? We go back, and next thing we know, nothing. They going to find.
They get back in. They get in the ship
because he sold them out.
Right.
To get, he sold him out like, hey, he's been looking for you.
So
because he was.
But there was no reason for the sellout though. That's what I'm saying.
But he did it.
Just kept happening.
He kind of did it. He kind of did it. That's what the funny part is. That character is literally exactly how he was in that one panel of that comic. Sells dude out and then gets murdered for it. So yes, Bill Murray is playing a character that is obscure at best, but that's basically was his role in the comic. So
it was even in the comic. Let's say that. So in the comic, he sell him out. He get murked off. I'm fine with that.
That was it. That's exactly what happened.
Here they put a lot of emphasis on Bill Murray's character
because it's Bill Murray,
right?
On the actor being in the movie. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Bruce Campbell being in Multiverse of Madness. There's no reason for Bruce Campbell to be in Multiverse of Madness.
That was fanfare, though.
But it was fanfare, and again,
I mean, to be honest, the same thing with Professor X in Multiverse of Madness. There was no reason for him being there.
But since it's a multiverse, it is a multiverse movie to let you know who's coming.
But was it really the multiverse? Teaser.
They were in a different multiverse. They was in a different universe.
Did they explore any of those multiverses?
Did they have a black? Did they have a black Captain Marvel? Yes, they did.
But it wasn't even that. It was. It was.
Did they go?
Maria Rambeau. It wasn't Monica.
Was she black? Was she looking up to Auntie Carol?
But this is okay. So this is the thing about this. This thing about that whole scene that just made me mad. So she instantly kills Black Bolt because Reed Richards, the smartest person on the planet, tells her that, hey, listen, he has his voice and he can do this to you.
Hey, he monologued.
Dumb.
He
not Reed Richards at all. Reed Richards is cocky, but he's not stupid.
Hold on, wait a minute. He did this. Hold on, wait a minute. Right. Cocky but stupid. Because he got handed.
That's different.
It's different now. It's different now.
I mean, he dealt with somebody that was smarter than him, at least tactician wise.
But intellectually, because they couldn't figure out how to be able to stop the MacGuffin in 53 either. And my man T'Challa did it. So
he did it with the incursions too. Like that was crazy. He figured it out before Reed Richards.
Thank you. That's why Black Panther is so important for Secret Wars. But anyway, go ahead.
He's not going to be in there. You know why?
T'Challa Jr. is so important. That what you mean? Two Son is so important.
Man, well, we not bringing up.
Oh my God. But the fact that she literally tore these dudes apart, and then the fight scenes happened between Peggy Carter and Maria Rambeau.
Yeah, that bothered me too, because it was like you got these more powerful people that she just ran through real easy, like, but she can but the Captain America, and I don't even know if she killed Maria Rambeau or not, but
she killed her.
You know what I'm saying?
She killed her.
I guess.
I don't know that.
It didn't look like
she shouldn't have died from no damn.
Her blood.
Older.
Yeah, but it was some blood at the end of that. So
I guess.
Yeah. I guess. But either way, like you said, they had to have the fight, but she just ran through. Just Professor X snapped.
With that being said, I hope Franklin Richards is alive, because if so,
they don't. But he brings in the comics.
He brings Galactus with him, or do the older version of Franklin Richards and bring. Oh my God! They're not
too
that
powerful,
bold.
man.
That's
way too powerful.
Situation.
Yeah, he's way too powerful.
That's
Too
an
powerful.
MW. See, when I did my review, I had some questions. It was my questions. I'm gonna go through all of them. I said, where did the people come from in the QR in the quantum realm? Because I don't know where the hell these people just showed up from.
Randomly.
How did
Crenshaw,
Janet get
Crenshaw
her powers?
Marcus.
I would have liked for them to explain what powers Janet got. She just over here reading minds and shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't get no explanation of that.
She got them from the quantum realm that
Oh,
nobody else
pretty
got.
sure
You talking about when she
That nobody else.
you
That
talk-
nobody else got.
You talking about when she touched the machine and then she
Just not
saw
that.
all
Just
the.
I mean that, but you know, we go back to when she cured Ghost. Remember, she cured Ghost, stopped her from phasing in between and shit. Like
She said it was evolution because she couldn't say the M word.
cool, but we still didn't get no more. We didn't even get really her doing nothing with that other than touching the machine.
She didn't have powers at that point. She only had,
She went back to the regular world like,
They went away.
oh,
They went away. She lost the glow.
Hold on, wait.
she had the powers that my man had on Meteor Man. They only lasted for a long time.
When she got the meteor.
Yeah, she had the Meteor Man powers.
Yo,
what
go
else
ahead,
I got? Why did we really need MODOK in this movie? Because
nope,
they could have kept him out.
That was funny. I cracked up through that whole.
But was it narratively? Did we need MODOK?
You needed Darren Cross because he was going to eventually show back up because he was in it because he got sucked into the quantum.
Could have just said he died.
You know what I'm saying? You could have said he died. He came back an obscure character. I thought it was his face alone. I couldn't even pay attention to him what he was saying because I was too busy laughing. Because I think they did that on purpose. They did it on joke. They did that on purpose.
And I want to pin right there. Does Marvel think that trolling the fans is a way to keep diehard fans?
No, they don't care about they don't care about diehard fans anymore.
Right, because I'm going back and I'm thinking about She-Hulk. Oh, well, we specifically wrote this to, you know, and I'm like, so you wrote this to fail? Like you wrote it to where nobody would like it, and then when don't nobody like it, you blame the people for not liking it. I don't get that. That like made no sense. You know what I'm saying? So there, with this face, all this money that you spend on CGI, you give me the face that us three could have just made and put on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. They could have did.
It looked like they just stretched it out.
That's all it was. Like they just stretched his face.
I think and again, personally, I believe they did that because if you look at every other character in the quantum realm, of course, it's not going to be Avatar Way to Water because that's just the technology. I think the technology that they use for that is totally different.
James Cameron don't play.
James Cameron, yeah, and plus he makes one movie every 7 years that blows you out the water.
Characters, that's his problem.
Yeah, but visually, it's always going to be studied.
It looks beautiful.
Well, I mean.
But he can't write a character to save his life.
Hollywood pivots off whatever James Cameron do for the next 10, 15 years.
They're going to do it.
Be doing.
Yep, they're going to do it.
Terminator 2, next 15, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Yeah. Everything that he does, that's just how James Cameron is.
Yeah. So I believe that technically with the MODOK character, I really believe they did it on purpose. And the reason why I did it on purpose, one, because they was getting so much backlash for the whole CGI, them not paying the people for the CGI. So they was like, "Oh, you want to do so? Oh, I'm about to really piss y'all off on this one." And the CGI people was like, "You ain't gonna pay us? Let me stretch out my man's face here, click, because everybody else does not look nearly as weird or bad like that." But
GoldenEye Nintendo 64
like some NBA Jam or something like that. I'm like, what?
But with his mask on, MODOK dope. When he put that mask over his face,
but he took it off. Cool. He took it off though. That's the problem.
He kept taking it off, but with the mask, I was like, that's dope. He take it off, I'm rolling all over again. But he put it back on. Oh, cool. So it looked like something for real for Rick and Morty.
And then they just kept making it. It was like one of those things where it's like, what? This is the thing what Marvel does, and it kind of bugs me.
Gag.
They keep going with it. It's like
running gag.
You can do it and move on.
Damn goats! I was ready to just throw my shoe at the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Like,
running
how many
gag.
times you gonna do this goat shit?
Yeah, the running gag. And when my man MODOK, he all beat up and like, I can become an Avenger.
I can be an Avenger.
For one, the first time Paul Rudd looks at that character, it looked real. Cause it was like, like he looked like.
Because I think that's what everybody was looking at.
What
Like,
he was doing. It was like, what the Darren?
Okay, and that's cool. You do it that one time, right? You move on.
Yeah,
but they just
then
kept
the
going
running,
with it. I was just
they
like,
did the
all
running
right.
gag.
They ran the gag with the hose.
With the who?
The hose, the goo
I
dude
thought
was like,
that
oh,
was
I have holes now. I'm like,
yeah.
But
yeah.
that was literally 30 seconds. And then he Kirby dude, you know what I'm saying? And my man black dude was like, I didn't even know you could do that. Did you know that? I didn't. And they went on.
We didn't need him neither.
They didn't continue to do. Man, that dude was a highlight of the film, dog. Everybody drinking his goo.
Quaz.
Oh, Quaz.
The black dude, yeah, he was like,
he was just there.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? He's just part of the story.
Appreciate you for meeting the quota.
Right. Somebody said that if they're gonna be doing telepaths like that, imagine what they're gonna do with like Jean Grey, Professor.
They're nowhere close to
these jokes.
They're nowhere close, and plus the way the X-Men are set up, they would be nowhere close.
That's what you think.
The X-Men has to be a serious movie, man.
Yeah,
if you don't make X-Men serious,
because I don't see them doing that.
What if they make Blade? What if they make jokes in Blade?
Bro, they made jokes in Blade in the first time.
Yeah, Blade had
it wasn't like that.
It was Wesley Snipes.
It was
jokes.
His famous line is, "It's a motherfucker always run ice skating
uphill."
Yeah. Who says that?
Yes. No, I mean he was doing stuff. You know what I'm saying, but the tone never changed.
Yeah,
it was like him. We know that he hunts vampires and he was having fun. Like
he was having fun doing this shit. He was having a ball.
You know what I'm saying?
The part where they shoot at him in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's great because just think about Wesley Snipes really having that real response.
Okay, so listen. Take that humor and compare it to this.
That's why I said Scott Lang's humor is literally Paul Rudd is playing himself, having a good time in the MCU. He's always been that. Matter of fact, this dude is eating a taco and get it blown off because Rocket Raccoon them show up. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't mind. And
like him,
I don't mind Paul Rudd's humor.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's him
the
doing
movie,
humor.
The whole movie humor. That's the thing.
Right. It's the movie's humor. I don't mind Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd doing Scott Lang stuff, par for the course. That's what he's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
The movie shouldn't have been funny. Shouldn't have been a funny and
especially not with Jonathan Majors.
But Jonathan Majors, when they have those scenes with Jonathan Majors, there's nothing funny. Even when
only the scene with Michelle Pfeiffer in him, and then the scene where he's like literally Darth Vader and like Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. And then because remember MODOK coming there and trying to be all happy go lucky, and he literally Darth Vader that dude.
Yeah.
Literally, that was the end of all jokes. Right then and there, with Jonathan is on screen,
when he told that man, he said, "Bro, hey, listen, I don't ask twice, bro."
Yeah, he said, "I will
kill your daughter,
kill your daughter, and put it in repeat for you to watch for the rest of your life."
That's when I was like, "Can I get this the whole movie?"
Can
I get this the whole movie?
And remember, that's why I say he is the power because. He Who Remains had that power in the TVA because they did that to Loki. They put him in that room and he kept getting beat up over and over again. He doesn't have that power yet.
I got a theory right here. He Who Remains and Kang the Conqueror, they the same people.
Because he said, I'm gonna end up being here at the end anyway.
They the same people.
So so the unit they was using was the multiversal power core. So in here, it said the multiversal power core. That's what they call it, the multiversal power core. So it doesn't. I'm trying to see if it explains.
In Endgame, Rocket Raccoon comes down in a ship, and the taco that Scott Lang was holding got
blown up.
I think they played because they talking about what about taco? Who got blown off?
Who's that? Who said that?
Kendra and Mika.
Yeah, somebody got their taco blown. That's all. It's not what you think.
Oh man.
Shame on y'all. Shame
So,
for
like-
being disgusting.
So like this is what I hated, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. The one part I hated about Endgame when it slowed down for me was the time travel part. And I feel like that's what this whole movie just did to me. It slowed down, and I was just like,
That's because the continuity of how they explain time travel, the timelines, the
it's so
multiverse,
different
it's so
everywhere.
different every movie. Every movie is
It's
different. The way it was explained by old girl, the ancient one, how she explained it to what we got in
to put all the stones
Endgame,
back.
totally different.
To put all the stones back to because the floor of time and the fabric
'Cause-
of reality.
Because
Now,
question,
Loki explained it.
how does he put back the what was
the reality stone.
the reality stone?
Right.
Because he sucked it back out. Unless hell, I don't know how it became a stone in the first place.
And it's gonna be kind of crazy when he goes to see Red Skull. He's like,
hey man, what's going on? Okay, so this is what is being told. As far as this is just from Wikipedia, so take that with a grain of salt or however you may. It said Kang appears in Quantumania, serving as the film's primary antagonist. According to Jonathan Major, who plays Kang, the character is a Nexus being. Right. That shall automatically tell you he's not going. That Kang ain't going nowhere. That Kang, who can affect the stability of the multiverse. Screenwriter Jeff Loveness said that since the concept of time travel has already been explored in Endgame, he sought to place greater emphasis on the character's connection to the multiverse. He also describes the quantum realm as a connected limbo outside of space and time, likening it to the basement of the multiverse. Director Peyton Reed stated that Kang's arrival in the MCU would have major implications for the MCU going forward.
So what's the Nexus being?
So the Nexus being is like Wanda. Is one being that really and again
in the comics it's only supposed to be one.
It's only supposed to be one. And but then that's why I'm looking at that probability in that multiverse core that created all those probability people. Is he pulling people from different parts of the multiverse like how Wanda is? Wanda is a constant throughout the multiverse. Wanda seen her multiversal self in Multiverse of Madness. It then went to go dreamwalk in her multiversal self. You know what I'm saying? In that comic. So you can have multiple Kangs, but he's the nexus of that reality, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So,
but okay, can I raise my hand because the way it was explained in Multiverse of Madness is who was the nexus being?
Wanda.
No, America Chavez was.
Oh, she's the
only one of her. She couldn't dreamwalk because it was only one of her. It
was no other one.
Maybe because she has the power to travel. maybe because she's a Nexus being because she can travel whenever she wants to throughout the multiverse. So there only can be one because she could go. Her power is multiversal travel.
Means single point, right?
Single point, yeah.
No matter what, you end up here.
Right.
Nexus, right? Mm-hmm. The beginning and the end. You're gonna end up here no matter
alpha,
what.
The Alpha and Omega.
Alpha and Omega.
I just don't see. Man.
I'm telling you,
the way that it's explained in the comics is so differently. Like especially when it comes to Kang.
It's easier in the comics. These is comic books we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's way easier to follow in the comics than it is in the movie.
But then you have these particular comics, and even in the comics, you still have particular comics that still skewer way off the board and come because depending on.
But that's when they started going to the ultimate stuff.
Yeah, and they start going way back on to this side because if you start looking at Stan Lee's run when he was writing, in all these other people and these, you know what I'm saying? There's always going to be a writer's interpretation
I get that.
of it. So I think, and then I believe that's where Kevin has to come in. Kevin Feige has to come in and get all these writers together and be like, we have to make this still cohesive, which I understand. I get a little bit of what you're saying. So
if Kevin think he got the reins with Phase 4?
I believe Phase 4 was to introduce different concepts, different people, because it's all going to pay off in the end. That's what I think it will.
I'm saying. Do you think Kevin Feige had to? Because it seems like Phases 1, 2, and 3 was linear.
linear.
We was focused. We know what's going on. Phase 4 show up, and there's a lot going on. Was Kevin Feige hands on? That's what I'm saying. Do you think he had the reins?
I believe he's hands on because he did say in one interview that, hey, we're going to start splitting up the MCU into like they did in the comics. So you're going to have your street level. Yeah, you're going to have your street level. You're going to have your cosmic. You're going to have your, you know, that's why I said Moon Knight is so important because he's part of the Midnight Suns with Ghost Rider and you know what I'm saying, and Doctor Strange and other people. Elsa Bloodstone is a part of the Midnight Suns, and she got introduced in Werewolf by Night. So you're gonna need,
I like Werewolf.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So you're gonna need those particular.
That was about the only thing from the Phase 4 that I even cared for.
I don't even count that as Phase 4. That was just
oh man, come on.
That was a one-off.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. Phase 4 has been rough.
But see, what I did like, and just speaking of that, what I did like is because they did that one shot with Moon Knight Werewolf by Night, right? For what I'm understanding, they're going to start pulling back a lot more of the Disney Plus shows. Daredevil is going to be one, and they're going to start doing one-shots more because that was more effective. They did the one-shot with Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It's going to lead into Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I heard they're going to do it with Silver Surfer.
Do y'all
yes,
really
I believe it. Yes, I believe it. Yes.
But
yes. Until I prove it wrong, I believe it.
About them pulling back?
Bob Iger's in charge.
It's been so right now, all of these streaming services, all of these corporations, these businesses, they losing money. Putting out product consistently like that is you're gonna lose money. If I throttle back, give you quality over quantity, I can make.
I'm good with quality over quantity.
And start sharing the IPs. So
right.
You see what I mean? So that's why they're going to start pulling back a lot of these shows. Start doing one shot. So if you see the one shot on Hulu, it's going to make more sense. And now because they're buying that, you know what I'm saying, that IP, and they're sharing that IP.
Right.
You know,
are y'all ready for Guardians of the Galaxy though?
Yes, I am. I'm a Guardian. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Big Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm just ready for it to be over with.
That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm just ready for it to be over.
They are about to ruin Adam Warlock. Like, they are about to ruin Adam Warlock.
I would not stand for this blasphemy.
Space Jesus is about to get ruined.
I think they should have went a different way. I would have liked to see the Annihilation Wave be the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy to start.
You gotta wait. That's a big. The Annihilation Wave is a big thing. You're gonna have to get that space. You got to start developing that. Like we just said,
you haven't introduced the characters yet.
Yeah, so you got to That's something big that you got to introduce a little bit later on.
So is Adam Warlock.
They should have introduced him a long time ago.
So is Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock ain't no small little. Let's do this one film.
I feel like it's gonna be the same thing. The issue that happened with Kang the Conqueror. You putting a bigger character in a smaller movie. I'm sorry. It's just
that's what's the problem with Quantum, and that's why I keep going back to the tone of the film. Kang shouldn't have been. This shouldn't have been Antman and the Wasp with Kang in it. It shouldn't have been that.
He didn't fit in it.
I just don't think it should have been that. I think that what fails the movie. Because it's two different movies.
I can see where you're coming from because again, you have the first part that's basically a Disney Plus movie. You know what I'm saying? Kang and the Antman family. You know what I'm saying?
It was a CW series.
Yeah, I can see that because you're with the Antman family. The Antman family basically is all it is. And then you get to this multiverse stuff that gets weird. You get introduced Kang. Kang's tone is totally different than everybody else's tone in the movie. You know what I mean? But then for me, because again, I'm a Deadpool fan. Do you know how many times I've read comics with Deadpool in it? It's supposed to be serious, but because it's Deadpool in it, it goes.
But remember, they changed Deadpool when Rob Liefeld first invented Deadpool.
He was Spider-Man with knives. Yeah, he was Spider-Man with knives until Nasia.
Fabian
Nasia. You know what I'm saying? He started writing it, started giving them the breaking the fourth wall. But really, even in Deadpool had two solo series. You know what I mean? Two basically one shots. You know what I'm saying? He had the
miniseries or whatever.
Miniseries, two miniseries before he became in '97 in that new Fabian Nicieza comic book run, which defined his character. and he went on from there. Like
See,
if
he
you
defined Cable's character too.
right, but then even if you look at, matter of fact, there's one comic that I would say perfectly sums up what I think about Ant-Man and Wasp. There's a comic, Thanos versus Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
You know how deadly Thanos is.
Mhm.
And here comes this character annoying the hell out of him through the whole run, and it's awesome.
They
You
say
know what I'm
that's
saying?
how they say Thanos cursed Deadpool, and that's why he can't die.
He can't die. So
Yeah.
he can't, because his whole thing is he was annoying him because Lady Death is in love with
Mhm.
Deadpool. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the whole run is. He becomes Cosmic Deadpool. It's great, but it's wacky as hell. You know what I'm saying? And see, for me, because I like that type of maybe I like that type of reading or comedy and stuff like, I can enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp of Quantumania. I can also understand you guys' point. You're like, hey, if you're going to introduce Jonathan Majors, he's a badass for about 15 minutes of the movie, and you have this man get whisked away with ants, I'm not feeling that. So I get that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I never got mad at somebody who was like, "Man, I really don't like the movie," because I like the way when Jonathan got on film how the tone changed.
It
Him
did.
and Janet.
I wish it would have kept that. I wish it would have kept
tone.
that same tone.
Let me ask you this: would you want Scott to get killed at the end of the movie instead of
absolutely?
Janet?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say
yes.
I think what was missing from the movie, there were really no risk. There were no stakes.
No stakes at all in this movie. He went right back to walking down the street being happy-go-lucky Scott.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he was like, "Oh, is he still alive? I don't know. Oh, who cares?" And kept, you know what I'm saying? Like, did he go and tell anybody? Did he go tell broke ass Falcon? I mean, broke ass Captain America that, hey, this dude is out here. You know what I'm saying? In the quantum realm, could be coming back.
He don't got no money. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did he go and do that? Did he go tell anybody?
He did just walk off like, maybe I defeated him. Maybe I'm cool. Maybe.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Let me eat some of this nasty. Let me eat some of this nasty cake real quick.
So it was like there was because another thing too is the way that they hyped this movie up. Kevin Feige, all of them hyped this movie up and said this was in-game proportion. That what they said.
No, wait a minute. Isn't that the same thing that happened at the end of Star Wars? When they blew up the Death Star, they were cheering, having a good time. Everything's all good. High fives all over the place.
But that makes sense. So, and remember, he didn't know if he was coming back to make another movie after that.
Who?
George Lucas. He didn't know.
The way y'all panned in this movie.
That movie didn't even do good in the box office like that.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So it just because it built up.
But see, this is what I feel like. Like I said the same thing about Eternals. I said people didn't like Eternals. They panned this movie just as bad as they did Eternals.
Right.
I was like, as far as the mutants and especially Galactus. But see, it's a lynching point. You're gonna go back and be like, yo, that movie makes sense now as far as the flow of the continuity because the X-Men comes from deviance. That X gene, it's a deviant gene. That's something that's going to be talked about later on. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that the Celestial.
Do that.
Yeah, I believe so because you can't have the X-Men. You cannot have the X-Men, especially when was it Jeff Johns or no Jonathan Hickman redid Donna X, House of X, all of that. They had to go back and be like,
I did a video on that saying that they would probably introduce it that way, but now that I think about it, I don't even think they're gonna introduce it that way. Look at how they introduced Kamala Khan as being the first mutant.
Which she should have been in the first place, but because
it should have been in the comics, but not
No, the reason why she wasn't introduced because she was a popular comic. The reason why she was introduced as an Inhuman because of all the crap that was going on with Fox.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why it's just retconned. Yeah, they still retconned it. You know what I mean? That's why they did. That's why House of M happened.
So they did it for what's your boy name? Namor. So
yeah. I didn't hear you what to say.
Namor got introduced as a mutant.
Yeah, because he's the first.
I mean, he is a mutant.
He's the first.
He is, but he got introduced as the first mutant in Black Panther.
Right.
I mean,
he is a mutant.
He is a mutant.
He is. He was the first mutant.
Right. Right, he was
So-
the
He's the first
mutant.
mutant. Yep.
Yeah.
And he's older than Miss Marvel, so you know, hey, he's still the first.
Yeah.
So
But my thing is, it was you went and got Chloe Zhao to do this movie, right? And the only reason why you went and got her,
that film was absolutely gorgeous, though.
right? But that's the
As
only
a
reason you went and
film.
got her for that. She ain't. When are you gonna learn? Get some people who actually enjoy the material.
But she didn't write it; she directed it. In the director, as far as a
But they
film,
have input.
but as far as
They
a
got input.
film, the film is absolutely gorgeous.
No, it's a
That
pretty
film is
film.
very, very beautiful, and something that a lot
So
of
was
people
Jupiter
get,
Ascending.
but a lot of people get, like how you just said. You made up a point earlier. You and Rashad was like, "Hey, they didn't even tell us how you got these broccoli head people and all these people got down." There's a lot of exposition in that movie. It's just long, but it's a lot of exposition
No,
in that movie.
I enjoyed Eternals.
Yeah,
And
what I'm
well,
saying is, for
After a
once,
couple more watches, I enjoyed Eternals.
yeah. But see, what I'm saying is, for as far as like the exposition, you need that story, you need that dialogue, you need to be able to tell where, who, what, why, where, and when. Something we learned in elementary school. You know what I mean? So when
Right.
it happens in the future, you already see where it is now. Just like you said, if Antman and the Wasp Quantumania was 2.5 hours long, and we spent a little bit more time kumbaya and getting to understand these people. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Oh, y'all still on?
maybe
We
these,
about-
maybe
we
these
about to
other
wrap
people.
up in a second.
Yeah, maybe these other people. Maybe people will go away, be like, okay, I understand now. I understand the tone. You know what I'm saying? A lot more of the goofiness could have been outweighed because we had a little bit more time with exposition, and that could have made the movie better in certain people's eyes.
Whose movie was this?
It's supposed to be Ant-Man and the Wasp, but even the
No,
Wasp
I'm
got
asking,
cut.
who do you think?
This was
shined
Kang.
most in it?
To me, it was Kang and Michelle Pfeiffer because they got the majority of the screen time that was serious and under. You know what I mean?
The
Like,
screen time that mattered.
The screen time.
Who do you think?
Yeah.
Rashad? Who do you think?
It's Kang. This is Kang's movie.
This Kang's movie.
Okay. With
'Cause
us, and it was his movie with 15 minutes worth of whatever he was in there for.
That's my problem with the movie.
Why not just make this a Kang movie?
You should have.
Shit, you got rid of Ant-Man, you got rid of Wasp in his own movie. You might as well just went full throttle with Kang.
I would have preferred that. Just like I would have preferred a Thanos movie, but
I still would like to see a Thanos movie. Because we don't know where the fuck Thanos came from. He just showed up saying we're gonna get rid of half the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and his brother got introduced, so you could be able to do that. A one shot. Do a one shot on Disney Plus.
yeah, I mean they can't. I mean, are they gonna do that though? Because we got Star Fox showing up as an Eternal, but they didn't make Thanos that.
Which he is, where he's Eternal with a deviant gene. This is
right,
why.
But that's what I'm saying. They didn't make him that.
That's what but they never explored him. We just got him doing stuff, but not him. He never really, remember he told all of his story about Titan, but we never really got to know about him because he closed that self off. He wasn't giving that information out. Just know that I'm about to go ahead and put these pause on you real quick.
I guess.
Hey, Dre, you be giving them a lot of leeway, boy.
I guess,
man, a lot, man. I'm just saying, I've read like
Marvel apologists.
But see, the thing is, like I read, of course, I read a lot of Marvel, but like I've been reading The Last Ronin. You know what I mean? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story.
Yeah, that was
it's very good, very impressive. And there's certain things in there that you're reading, like. I understand you could tell that in comic book form. It'll be hard to adapt that and be able to show a live audience that because I don't think they would. I don't think the casual fan only know about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles either from their kids or from a TV show. So when they see that version, you know what I mean? They're not going to be. I don't think it would be adapted.
The only reason why The Last Ronin was able to be written is because I got 40 years worth of backstory already. You see what I'm saying? If I gave you a couple of issues of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and then just ran right into The Last Ronin,
like,
what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no in between. But since we got all of this from when Larson and I forgot the other dude.
Eastman and Laird. Eastman and Laird.
Yeah, Laird and Eastman, when they first started doing everything to when they sold it to I think it was
To
IDW
Image,
or whoever.
to IDW, yeah,
IDW, and
DW
then
and IDW.
we get the Fox cartoon, we get Nickelodeon cartoons, we get movies. You see what I'm saying? I can come back and do the last room because they actually came back and did the last room.
Mm-hmm.
With Thanos, we just throwing this maniacal villain in, no backstory, saying he want to kill the. You know what I'm saying? It's better to take off half the universe. Why,
So,
dog? Like what?
so would you rather have that in the Disney Plus series or a one shot, or you want a whole movie for it?
You could have gave me multiple but that goes back to what I was saying about when me and Rashad was saying we only got Thanos for 2.5 movies, really, right? That's all we got. 2.5 movies of Thanos. We got a lot of Infinity Stone. You know what I'm saying? Not really though. You know what I'm saying? But if we could have got, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy, you know what I'm saying? They could have explained. The Collector could have explained about Thanos. He could have talked about that. On Ragnarok, you had one of the oldest beings in the universe.
Odin,
No, not Odin.
Surtur.
What you call it character? From Jurassic Park. His character.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum's character.
Oh, yeah.
You know him and the Collector. They cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, in the comics, you know what I'm saying. It's MCU. They on some old, totally different shit. But they some of the oldest beings in the universe. Matter of fact, they predate the universe. So I'm pretty sure they know. You know what I'm saying? Would know about Thanos. How old is Thanos? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me some real reasoning behind. Because what the fuck, dog? Why you want to kill the universe? Like, what's? And they couldn't use death because death would have been too. It ain't Disney.
And they couldn't use death because of that's an X-Men character too.
Mm-hmm.
They could have used something. The Boogeyman, shit. They could have came up with something better than what, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because think of his motivation. His motivation, he was saying that it ain't enough resources. The universe ain't got enough resources for all these people. You get the Infinity Stone, you get the Gauntlet. Why not just make more resources? You could have made a planet that just made resources continuously. You know what I'm saying? Happen.
Man, he was trying to kill folks.
But
at least he wasn't killing for coochie. So let's just give it a plus for that.
You know what? Coochie would have been better than killing for nothing. At least not. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
Hey, gentlemen. I definitely appreciate y'all, man. This has been a good talk. We definitely gotta do this again. We definitely gotta do this again. Definitely love chopping it up with comic books. Hopefully we will be talking about a better movie next time.
I liked it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's middle of the pack. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It's middle of the pack. I said a 4.
I gave it a 4.
Going back to watch it.
I gave it a 4. I'll never watch it again. I'm sorry.
I'm not going back to watch. Just like Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
I do like Jonathan Major screenshots, but that's about it. I'm good.
I'm gonna watch it because I need to pull some information, make a deep dive. That's what I do.
Okay.
But gentlemen, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can listen to you at, and we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here.
All right, you can follow me on ChrisShawMafia.com. You know what I mean? I'll just play it. Just make sure to follow the Dre Mac Show on YouTube. Make sure to I got a Facebook page too, the Dre Mac Show. Dre Mac Show on Twitter, at the Real Dre Mac on IG. So if you want to get in contact with me for real, hit me up on IG, hit me up on Twitter, the Real Dre Mac on IG, the Dre Mac Show on Twitter.
Yeah, and I'm at Bluminati everything, or at Blues House everything. That's BLUSHOUSE.
So if you can't spell, don't go follow.
Right. There you go.
Well, y'all have a good night. Enjoy. Thank you for stopping here. If you on the replay, you already know what to do. Go ahead, smash that like button. And thank you. And we're gonna catch y'all next time. Have a good night now.
Bob Hire, y'all.